Yeah. I'm in the booth. I'm in the booth.
Yeah, we're not doing that music, man. Honestly, I can't get down with an intro song like that. Plus, anyways, so if you're here, it's probably because you've been watching me already for quite some time. I mean, you're not here just because it's random. So I'm happy to be back. I took a little bit of what about like 4 weeks?
About 4 weeks.
About 4 week break from doing videos for you guys.
Felt like forever.
Yeah, it did feel like forever, honestly. I felt like it was taking forever. But yeah, pretty much it was just time to take a break and, kind of restructurize how I'm going to be bringing these videos for you guys. And I want to tell you that it's probably the first time I've taken a break like that from doing content for almost about 7 to 8 years. I've done already 300 videos pretty much on YouTube. And yeah, most of them are all watch related.
Is that an accurate number? 300?
309 actually, to be exact. I did 189 videos with the previous channel I was with, and then I've done, believe it or not, it happens fast, 120 videos now on my own Watch Eric channel. So, when you already do 300 and something videos, it kind of just gets to a point where I'm like, what other watch am I going to review right now? I mean, it's not going to be maybe until Rolex drops some new pieces or discontinues some pieces that maybe I'll have to do a dedicated video. And so, yeah, I've been thinking maybe I want to switch it up. Now,
you talking about for good or just something part-time?
I mean, I think right now, just temporarily for right now, I want to change up the format. Now, it's interesting because you see me here wearing, nowadays, I guess it's like almost in style to have this big ass microphone in your face, for real, and these headphones on, because everyone's doing a podcast right now. So it's like, oh my God, another podcast. So I really thought about that very well before doing this. I said, do I really want to do a podcast? And, I guess in a way it's going to be like a podcast, but I don't really want to just be a podcaster. I just figured this would be a good way to sit down and talk more about the watch market, the watch world, what I like collecting, business.
I like that.
Yeah, about business, my business, the watch market, cars, anything that's kind of relevant. I don't want to get into too many things that are off topic,
Yeah.
Definitely no politics. We'll save that for somebody else.
That's just the sticky business,
Yeah, but I figured let's take this to a different direction where we can kind of I don't know. I want to have a little bit more fun while I'm doing this. What's there going to be in this podcast? I would say it's going to be a bit different. Yes, I could probably have some guests, but I'm going to have some regular people in here too, and we're going to just talk about watches and anything that's related to watches, business, lifestyle, luxury, anything of luxury goods. I'm also going to bring in some of my friends that are not the type of guys that you see on YouTube all the time that have to do with watches, that are in the watch business. Maybe some of the heavy duty wholesale heavyweight dealers, some of the guys that I consider some of my best friends.
Bringing the big guns, huh?
Yeah, some of my best friends in this business, they're a little camera shy, but we'll get them out here and we're going to talk a little bit more deeper about the watch business and about the watch game and about the watch market. Instead of just doing another review and giving you my opinion about the watch, I figured really let's sit down and let's talk about watches and really get deeper, more levels into this. I felt that for a while already. I just wasn't really feeling any more reviews and how many more watch market updates can we do? And, so
You're not saying you tapping out, right? You got more left in the tank, right?
Yeah. I mean, we'll talk a little bit more about that later. The first thing that I want to talk about on this episode 1 is I want to kind of touch back to my last video. My last video 4 weeks ago was
I heard a lot of feelings.
It actually, I had a lot of people agree with me. A lot of people said, you know what, Eric, I feel you on that 100%. Anything from small guys to big guys to dealers to non-dealers but then I had a couple of hurt feelings with that video.
Yeah,
and perhaps maybe it's my fault. Perhaps maybe I didn't exactly, express to the exact audience that I was referring to when I considered you a watch flipper. These watch flippers went rampant the last 2 years. I mean, yeah, there's going to be some of them that are not considered watch flippers, that are true gentlemen, do have careers, do have money in their bank.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That are not worried by it or affected by it. And there's always going to be also the little guys out there too that are just trying to make a buck. Nothing wrong with that either. But I don't consider myself a watch flipper, man. When I think of that word watch flipper, I don't even like that word.
It's kind of an insult, man.
I think about like flipping hamburgers or something like that. I mean, I know that can be taken a different way, but I don't consider myself a watch flipper. I'm a watch dealer, 100%.
Poured your life into this, man. You've been doing this for what, 10 plus years?
100%, yeah. And it's not like I just started to do it 10 years ago. It's not like one day I woke up and said, I think I'm just going to pursue my passion and my dreams, which is nothing wrong with that, by the way.
Yeah.
Anybody who wants to do that, I thoroughly encourage it. But what I'm saying is that it's almost like everything in my life led to this moment to become a watch dealer without me even knowing. I mean, I've been obsessed with watches my whole life. I've loved watches since before there was a value or a price tag attached to it. It didn't help that even when I was a little kid, the Swatch or the Seiko that I wanted or the Casio happened to be the most expensive one in their lineup. But it's something that I've just always liked, and I've always liked watches. So back to this whole watch flipper thing, this video was a true statement. There's going to be guys right now with the current state of the market where it was for 4 weeks ago that are not going to make it past this. I wanted to say death to the watch flipper, but not like actual death, more like when Jay-Z said death of the autotune, something like that. That's kind of like what I was referring to. It wasn't necessarily, but I figured say the end of the watch, flipper, because it'd go and digest a lot easier. But now that we see what me and Keon, answered on the phone, on the messages and other friends, I mean, thank God I didn't go that route. I had guys call and say, is he talking about me? I feel like he's talking about me.
Yeah, that following morning after the video dropped, man, we the phone was hot.
It was like for a week, for even a week, I had people asking me about this. But you don't have to be a rocket.
Before you get there, man, you started the video off saying, we've just joined the team, bro. You taking losses.
Yeah, well, that's what I said.
It's a part of the game, right?
If you've bought any watches and, whether it was for collection or business, and right now you're kind of down on the numbers, I mean, it is what it is. Welcome to the club.
No one likes to lose, bro. But
listen, I remember 6 to 7 years ago when I was, the market was completely different. I had guys coming in trying to sell me a Harry Winston that they paid $250,000 for. Yeah, $250,000 Harry Winston Tourbillon. And guess what? I didn't even want to pay $40,000 at that time. And I don't care who you are. When you lose $210,000 on a watch, you're like,
you feel that.
This shit ain't fun. You're like,
feel that.
You're like, I don't like this hobby. This hobby is not fun at all. Okay, like legit. I didn't even like the way the watch looked. Yeah. But when he told me Tourbillon, retail, people are used to now things at retail being a great deal. Back then, retail was not a great deal. Then again, a Daytona stainless steel 116520 was $9,000. Yeah. That was the price in the gray market. Then you had guys at that time, Hublot was waxing people. By the way,
I'm not surprised.
By the way, this was the time that the Big Bang was actually a good seller and was somewhat still considered a decent watch. But then you'd have some guys go and buy a King Power 48 millimeter Tourbillon for $150. Ouch. Back again to what I'm saying, I'd only give them 30 grand, Ouch. So again, did these guys drop out of watches?
No.
I mean, they didn't.
You learn from it. You lose and you learn, man.
It was a hard pill to swallow, but it was those clients and those people that came in that I had to give them the bad news about. I had to give them the bad news about this. Those are the guys that I started thinking, maybe these YouTube videos will help people, guide them through this hobby, because I don't care how fun this is. It ain't fun if you're losing 200 G's.
Yeah.
So, it was kind of those experiences that made me jump into, hey, you know what? Let's kind of help people out. So the original reason that I started doing videos was to help the public out, give the public confidence to buy, things like that. The byproduct of that was that I was able to sell people watches. Right now, nowadays, things are a little bit different in the YouTube space, when it comes to the watch world. But back to where I was getting at, what I mentioned was, if you've bought a watch and you've lost money, join the club. You know, if you were buying it as an investment, I mean, it happens. All investments are risky. But those aren't the guys I'm talking about, man. I'm talking about the guys that are just don't even care. And the greed is so heavy on these watches that they want to flip that, you know, they'll sell it to another guy for $500 more with them already making $15,000 profit.
Yep.
You know, those are the guys I'm talking about. You know, the guys that want to make $15,000 of profit, but expect me to only make 800 when in reality, I don't really need their watch. I could just buy it from another wholesale dealer for a little bit more. I didn't have to put $1 into it. I'm just being straight up with you. You know, so in reality, those are the guys that I was referring to. I can see now, 4 weeks later, how my video kind of maybe, you know, set out this message where it was like, if you're at home and you bought a green Daytona and you're down 40 grand, haha, I'm happy for you. That's not what I was trying to say. Not at all. I mean, and if I did and it came off like that, you know, my apologies. That's really not what I meant. The reality was that when I mentioned to my friend that had told me 2 clients had called him, you know what we talked about after? I said, you know, the biggest problem right now is that clients can't realize that the prices have gone down and they want to trade you in watches at high prices. And he says, oh, I'm having lots of problems with my clients. He says, I'm having lots of problems with my clients that want to sell me watches that they bought at retail, and they're extremely pissed off when I give them an offer. And I told him, do you consider those guys in the category of what I was talking about? He said, those guys, I don't put them in the category of the other 2 guys that call me that are the gentlemen, guys that really do business, really work with them, are reasonable with the prices. Like, for example, I had a guy call me the other day that wanted to sell me a Pepsi Jubilee. Okay? Or was it Oyster? Doesn't matter.
Jubilee.
The point is that the retail on that watch is about $9,000. Okay? I offered him pretty much easily a $5,000 profit. And you know what his answer was to me? Oh, no, that's not enough profit. I think I'm just going to keep the watch and give it to a family member, which that is a lie. He's going to shop it around, and that's fine. He has every right to. But listen to the mentality of these people. $9,000 investment, $5,000 is not enough profit. I mean, yeah, I was going to make $1,500 because that's what I'm here for. I'm here to do business, not to play games or, you know, pretend on video. But, you know, those are the guys that I'm talking about, you know, and those are the guys that we're going to say goodbye to because either A, he's really going to give it to a family member, nothing wrong with that, or B, he's going to have to burn that watch. And I think every day that he waits is worse for him.
Yeah. Every day the market is we don't know if it's going to go up or down, man. You got to take the opportunity where you can. Greed will leave you ass out.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, that's the main thing that I want to say is when it comes back to that last video, yeah, the watch flippers are going to be hurting, man. I mean, I have guys in the business that have been around for many years, maybe went in a little bit too hard, and they're hurting. But, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, there's businesses and the markets change and we have to adapt. And, you know, what are we supposed to do? Well, the right thing to do is just continue and keep going. The guys that really don't have a passion for this business or this career are just going to walk and do something else. You know, the guys that really see the potential in this career or this business are going to sit there and they're going to find a way and they're going to adapt. That's just the right thing to do. So, you know, one thing that I haven't done so far, and I actually forgot, I want to introduce my boy Keon. Keon works for me. He works with me. We work together, however you want to say it. All those are correct. He actually, how long has it been you've been working with me?
Going on a little bit over 2 years, I think.
Yeah. 2 years?
About 2 years, yeah. About 2
almost
years.
Two, almost 2
about
years.
2 years, yeah. About 2 years.
Well, it's almost 2 years because I'm about to be at this exact location 2 years now in this month. So I would say about 6 months after I started here, you know, I was kind of going crazy. It's too many things for one person. You know, I'm like, you know, it's too much for one person to handle. And then it gets to a point where people are upset because I'm not answering their messages or, you know, writing back to their DMs fast enough. So pretty much I called up Keon. He's actually my cousin's boyfriend for a long time. And he's in the family. And I was thinking, who do I hire to come work for me? And I remember I called him up and I said, what are you doing right now? You working or anything? And it was, mind you, right after the whole lockdown.
Right after the pandemic, man. I just graduated school. It was a tough time. Got my degree in finance at FIU. Job market went to shit, man. It was tough to get a job, and thank God for this guy,
Yeah, so I called you up and I'm like, yo, Keon, what are you doing right now at home? Are you working or anything? He's like, nah. I'm like, you want to come work for me? He said, yeah, fuck yeah, I'll give it a try. I'm like, well, come tomorrow at 10 a.m. He just started. So,
Yep.
And just like that, he came into the wild ride. I mean, the one thing that I did tell him many times is I said, look, the only thing I'm going to say is that you're getting into the market right now or into the business while the market is booming. And I expressed it to him many times is that this business goes in waves. The jewelry business or the watch business. I don't care if it's the jewelry business or the watch business.
Retail in general goes in waves.
It does. But specifically,
Yeah.
gold, diamonds, watch, things like that. It goes by waves, where there'll be some eras where it's just everything's killing it and then you slow down. So that's why, I told him, listen, man, just keep it in mind. It's busy right now. We got to get it while it's coming because it could slow down later. And then here we are. But I guarantee you that, we will work through it. But anyways, Keon's going to be on some of these episodes with me because he's in here on the day in and the day out and sees everything that's going on with the watches and the prices and all that. And I'm very happy that he's here with me.
Yes, sir. And don't get it twisted, man. I work for this shit. He might have asked me to come, but I had to grind, bro.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I do run somewhat of a military operation
I had to grind, bro.
When I bring somebody into the game, it's not that easy. It's tough. I had a lot of people that, called me, and I still have many people to this day that, talk to me about this, and they want to work for me, but it's just so tough to let somebody in. At least for me, some people do it.
No. It's not just for you, bro. In this business, man, a lot is about your word and trust, and nowadays it's hard to come by that. It really is. We're actually in the middle of shooting a video. I haven't gotten a chance to show it to him.
Okay, could you show it to him and then ask him what do you think it's worth?
I will, man. I'll talk to him as soon as he finishes.
Yeah, Keon, thank you very much.
No
How do you spell your name?
Keon.
Keon. Okay, Keon, thank you.
Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Cayenne. That's a new one, bro. Cayenne pepper.
So Keon is actually spelled Keon. I get this a lot. I actually murdered it on my phone when I first, I had him all this crazy stuff. So, anyways, back to the change of this format and where I'm going to be going with this from now on. I'm still going to be doing every now and then some reviews and stuff like that. I'm not going to completely go away from that. I just want to change something up, and we're going to just do it completely different. So
yeah, bro. Now that we're here. When you brought up this topic to me, we're busy, bro. We're always moving. We're doing something. What made you want to do this? Why podcast? Because when you started this off, you said it's a lot of people in this space. What made you want to jump into the podcast area?
I would say right now it's probably. I mean, it could be or it could not be, but it could possibly be the best moment to start a podcast or videocast, or I like to call it videocast because we're gonna have cameras.
Okay.
In. But it could also be the worst moment because there's so many people doing it. But I guess the real reason that I decided to go this format is, after you do so many videos, it gets to a point where, every single time, which I know I caused a lot of this. I know that I caused and inspired a lot of people to get online and do videos and give their opinions with, some of them have reputation, some of them have experience, some of them are just having some fun. But I guess it got to a moment there where there was just somebody doing a review every day, which doesn't matter. That was something years ago. Then from there, the whole trend got all into the day in the life and the day in the life. And that's also a very good format as well. That's very entertaining and interesting. But Day in
the Life was a banger, bro. It was a banger.
Yeah, I know. I can still do some here and there.
Would you touch back in that area?
Yeah, there's nothing wrong. I could probably, put out a couple day in the lives.
The amount of DMs we get, bro, about asking about the day in the lives, it's crazy.
The problem is that when you've been doing one thing that I'm very proud of, I would say, is that I got to, 100,000 subscribers using my traditional format, which had worked for me once. So, the fact that I did it just once alone like that, I like that. As opposed to jumping on the bandwagon that everybody was doing day in the life. On one hand, it's very entertaining for some of you guys at home that, want to see about the business and see all the ins and all the outs. But, one thing I would tell you is, like all these people that came and wanted to work for me, I'd say, I want to follow my passion for watches. And Keon will tell you real quick, I mean, that kind of wears out really fast when you do this for a living. That came from the heart right there. Bro, came from the heart,
Don't get me wrong, I love what I do,
Yeah,
man.
me too.
I love this, man. Don't get me wrong, but it's not for everyone. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, and again, besides the fact that it just takes a lot of effort, and I want to put my effort into. I love doing videos. I love putting out content for you guys. I want everybody to like it, but I have to find a nice medium between putting out content that I enjoy and that you guys enjoy, but also that I don't take away from my clients and the business. I feel that if I start running around with cameras 24/7, although, some of you guys would like to see some of the interesting stuff that goes on, it's going to kind of take away from what I am. And I am a watch dealer before anything. And what you're going to get with this format, instead of it being me talking about a watch clipped up a bunch of times and different things, it's going to be a little bit more raw and uncut. Like a little bit more about, like, if you're here buying a watch from me at my place. And not saying that anybody makes up their content or that anybody out there is faking their content. That's not what I'm saying. But I would say that, when you get on that bandwagon of day in the life, it's like at some point you got to start adding milk, into the eggs. You have to fluffing it up, because it's like 1 week I got to buy a Keon a car, and then next week I got to fly to Iceland to hand deliver, a bag of potato chips to a,
There's only so much shit that happens.
and then next week I got to top that off, because I have to do my first watch delivery by jumping off of an airplane from the sky in Dubai. It just kind of gets to a point where, look, for some people, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I mean, I kind of enjoy them, but I've been on this hamster wheel a long time, and I kind of want to try something else. So I think that's one of the main things was just kind of go a different direction. And I think right now is a good time. This episode right now is kind of an introduction. So it's, if you notice, it's been more focused around what the plan is, but that's the idea. From here on, we're going to talk more about what's going on in my business. What are my plans? What's new in the market? Anything that's coming out with watches, anything that has to do with business related. You're going to get some free game over here, whether it has to do with watches, business in general, things of that nature. We're going to talk also about cars. Not every video is going to be here inside of my store. We're going to have some really cool locations where we're going to go out there and maybe talk with some of the best people in the business in cars and kind of get a little bit of information on that too. So that's going to be the format from now on. And like I said, we still going to do some traditional videos, so don't freak out.
Yeah, you basically answered everyone's question out there. People getting nervous, bro. Everybody loves your reviews. They love the watches, the badass watches and the Miami views, but I definitely think that you're doing something cool, man. You're trying to pivot into something. Maybe pivot is the wrong word. It's a lot of pivoting.
Yeah. That's like the word. That's the word of the last year. Everybody wants to pivot this and pivot that.
Maybe you open up a new lane, man. Something you be able to jump back and forth to keep everybody engaged and locked in, and they'll get a version of you that everyone wants, bro.
Yeah, look, man, I know that it's going to be some challenges. I tell you what, after doing 300 videos, if you go back and look at the first 5 videos that I did, they're pretty
Come
rough.
a long way. They're
pretty rough, So obviously this format's going to be fine-tuned completely. And my intentions are to have some real guests in here, not some, this isn't a celebrity podcast. This is not what we do. We're going to learn something here. And we're going to go on some journeys, and you're going to be there with me too along the way. And anyways, I want to also wrap this up with a market update. I figured that I always wanted to do a lot of market updates, but it was kind of like, how many videos can I put back to back with the market update? Which this, I can always touch the topic. Keon, what do you think about the market right now?
Market right now is I don't want to say it's in a good place, man, but it's definitely better than what we've been seeing. Prices are stabilizing. I can't tell you if we're at the floor yet. I know everybody's gonna ask that question. We don't know. We really don't know. But I will tell you, man. Right now, prices are pretty appealing, man. Things are looking good, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, when I did that video about the end of the watch flippers, the market was kind of doing a major descent, you know? Almost when you feel that the plane's about to land, that you feel it kind of do that kick down from up there. And you know what I mean? Your ear's about to pop. You know, it definitely did some of that action. We weren't sure how low it was going to go, but one thing I would say is that so far right now, I feel that it's pretty stable. You know, when the market was rising, you know, I had mentioned many times that it's been the perfect storm to cause these, you know, prices. There's a lack of merchandise. The fact that demand is high and everybody loves watches, and social media is like putting it in your head that you need a watch for either flex culture or for investment. So that was the perfect storm for the rise. And then right now is actually the perfect storm for the correction because one, you know, whether you're a Bitcoin believer or not, I mean, I, for one, I do believe that people have become millionaires at Bitcoin. I just don't believe in Bitcoin in the sense that I don't invest in it. Not that I don't believe in it. It's just, that's not my thing. My thing is watches. But one thing was the major fall of the crypto market. You know, that's number one. Number two is the fact that we are in the summer right now. And the summer is always that time of the year where people are just not buying watches.
Everyone's traveling with the family, man.
Yep. Or they're even selling some watches to maybe take their whole family to Europe or whatnot. Then when you tie in the obvious world economic situations, because I can't just say that it's here, what's going on here with the inflation, all that. I think when you tie all that together and you stir it in the pot, is where we are right now. And the market has done a legit correction. And I'm not sure if it's at the bottom, but I do feel that it looks a lot more stable and realistic at this moment.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but this is one of the first times that the entire world has been in a recession at the same time, correct?
I mean, I'm not an economist. I don't know if everybody else considers it a recession. What I would say is that the last time that we had a financial crisis here, which was in 2008, the problem was here, but Asia was booming and other countries were booming. So if you had import, mostly exportation and stuff like that, or different types of businesses that didn't involve here, it was still booming. Yeah. This scenario right now is a little bit turbulent because it's kind of like all over the world. So, you know, I for all the guys that, you know, DM me and send me comments, I mean, I don't think you're going to be able to buy a Daytona at retail anytime soon by walking in. I just don't see it happening. And, you know, I don't know why the people blame it on the watch flippers as much as I, you know, as much as I might criticize that select group of watch flippers that I think are not loyal. They don't really like watches. They're just profiteers. I mean, I don't think they're the ones to blame. I mean, the fact is that the last 5 years, watches have become very popular and
Social
people want
media,
it.
bro. Social media has been the biggest thing about watches, bro.
Yeah.
They start trends, bro. Offset will walk down the street wearing a 5980. 5980, the price went up 30%. It's crazy, bro. It doesn't make sense.
Absolutely. You know, that's a very big factor in this, is that right there. Social media has increased the level of the flex culture. Yeah. Everybody wants it. So that is one of the reasons why I think that the market will still hold. There's going to be guys of you at home and, you know, and everywhere like me, everybody else, that right now might be a time that the profits are not as good. And for other people, it might be even better than before, you know, depending on the position that you're at right now in this whole turbulence. So, you know, as far as the market right now, I would say that it has kind of stabilized. Richard Mille, for some reason, you know, I don't know. Listen, it's weird. Some people will sit there and say, yeah, you know, Richard Mille has held. We need more Richard Milles. We don't have enough of them. But at the same time, too, I kind of do feel that the heavy pieces are almost at a dead halt right now.
Yeah, they're not moving. People are scared to spend.
You know, when you're going to spend over 200, 250, 300, 450, I mean, these guys kind of think about it. Yes, some of them have the money and they can buy it and it's not a problem. But at least so far, the prices have reduced, but nowhere near when you compare it to a Platona, platinum
Yeah.
Daytona. I mean, those were,
Or John Mayer.
yeah. I would say the Platona is one of those Rolexes that gave, some of these holders, which we'll call it different than a flipper. Yeah, I mean, we'll just take this term from the crypto world or whatever, you know. Listen, there's guys that bought these Daytonas because they just like them and it's a good investment, whatever. And there's the guys that bought 5 or 6 of them because they want to hold, thinking that they're going to 250. I mean, and I'm not happy that happened to those people. I don't want anybody to lose money, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's why I started these videos, was to help people not lose
To
money.
educate people, bro. Yeah.
But I feel like that Daytona is one of the ones that gave people the most black eyes in this market. That and some of the novices, like the 5711 Rose. I mean, those were pretty intensive. But I would say that right now and for the rest of the year is a good moment to pick up a watch at a good price. Of course, there's going to be people that are going to say, well, if you think it's low now, wait till you see it. Well, now more,
Wait
whatever.
till the bubble pops.
I mean, listen, we don't have a crystal ball. I mean, we really don't. But what I would say is that I am seeing watches right now at prices that weren't before. If you want to buy a John Mayer, prices are really attractive right now. If you want to buy a rose gold Prezi with the green dial, prices are really attractive right now. So, if you're looking to buy a watch right now, I would say you can buy it right now because the downside is not as big as it was in January, February, or even about a month and a half ago. I feel that right now it's pretty much stable.
Yeah. In other words, get the purse ready, baby.
So that's all I have for you guys today, man. Pretty much I wanted to introduce to you guys this new format and where I want to go with this from now on. And of course, I want to make it entertaining. I want to spice it up. It's not going to just be me sitting here on a couch with whoever else or the other people here. We want to make it interesting. We want to make it informative, and we want to make it educational. I mean, I want this to be something fun and most, the same way I want it. I want to enjoy it. I want you guys especially to enjoy it. So feel free to comment below what you think about this new format and what other changes I should make. And if you like this video, like and share it. Also, subscribe already to the YouTube channel if you haven't already. But then again, if you're watching this, you probably have.
Yes, sir. Keon, Keon.